the meeting, we said the councillor representing Ward A1, which we, Crystal Estate, falls under, was here. So she introduced herself, and she made us to understand that the executive chairman of the Amuwo-Odofin local government was visiting the estate. Before you came, Mr. Chairman, we have discussed some things concerning the estate. And we told the residents how we have been visiting, your good office, myself and Chief Adewale. We've been there almost 3 times. He has been sending you text messages concerning how the local government has neglected Crystal Estate since 1996, since the creation of Amuwo-Odofin local government. And we started by saying that from the onset that the community has not enjoyed anything from the local government. During our last vote, we made sure that your party, won in this community. And we stood by the party and made sure that the party won in this community. And as you can see, the light project that is ongoing is a community effort. People individually donated street by street to do this street light. As you can see, if you go to Lagos Crescent, we just finished the stands of the next phase that we're going to put up on Lagos Crescent. Our plan is that Crystal Estate should be littered every night from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning. This is to serve as security also for the community, and which the last time you came here, during the burial of one of our residents' wife, you saw it when the light was switched on, and we know you loved it, and we told you that it was community effort. So here today, I am presenting the executive chairman of Amuwo-Odofin local government, the amiable chairman, for us to see and for us to ask him questions. What does he have for Crystal Estate?
Your Excellency, the President, Chairman of Crystal Estate, and his wonderful team, particularly Bobono Budai and the General. Not to forget Mama here, and so many of you have been very wonderful. Wrong. Neither will I affirm many of the statements that they have altered.
One house, please.
I understand the pains, and I understand what you have gone through. And I'm always quick to tell people that amongst all the resident associations that we have in the local government, yours is one of the wonderful community-based development, if that English is correct, or develop-inclined loving association. And I don't use words to say this, because I don't want to, there are several estates around. They have illustrious, very illustrious people living in there. In fact, there's this particular one opposite Okwefo there, forgotten the name of that estate, just almost directly opposite Villa Park. The very first time I entered that estate, I was quick to forget that I'm a Nigerian or I'm living in Nigeria. The estate is well planned, very beautiful and all, but they don't have a coherent or cohesive association like yours. What you are doing also helps to improve security. Unlike Festa Town, they have a very wonderful association, executive members. But there is a big gap between members of that association and the executive members. There are some people who have the interest to develop and maintain and sanitize the estate, but the larger percentage of them have a very terrible apathy towards development or meeting themselves or working together. That's the problem we have there. Coming back to your estate, I've been relating with your members and of course executive members. They've been coming regularly, sending text messages, telling us that we need to do this, do that. And we kept assuring them that their time will come. And your time has come. Yeah. Because now we have 3 contractors. And the space is still open. The space is still open. The bid is open. The last phase that we have to cross now, which Honorable Famadi knows better, is to get approval from the Lagos State government to expend over 35 million naira here. Anything over 35 million naira, we must get state approval for that expenditure. We have done our bill of quantity. Is the engineer here? Is the super for works here?
Yes.
We have done, please come over. We have done our bill of quantity, and the super will tell you the amount that road will cost interlocking using state rates.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Not to waste our time, it will cost the sum of 72 million naira because it's a dual road and going to be interlocked to link to the Dover drainage that links to the going to the river. Kaduna Road, yes, Kaduna Road.
So,
72 million.
It will come with drainage. I'm very sure it will come with drainage and interlock both ends. That is state rate. State rate. And we are going to use the best of stones, like what we used at 21 Road or even better. So we have forwarded it with that of Apple Estate, Abayomi Road. We have forwarded it to the state for approval, for them to look at the cost. If it's too high or too low, they will work on it, and then they revert back before we move to site. The stage where we are now is the bidding stage. Like I told you, if you have members here, there's nothing wrong about it, as long as we go through due diligence. If you have members that are civil engineers and contractors, they can register with the local government. But the principle that we're using is this. We don't have enough funds to do all of these projects. So we are using PFI. And what it simply means is that you use your fund to do it. At every stage, we pay you. And we agree, sitting with our bankers and our legal department, we draft a memorandum of understanding. And we give post-dated checks to our bank, the Federal Allocation Account. And anytime you meet a particular completion and it is certified, we'll pay you as agreed. Now, if the state approves 72 million for the project, you work out the first stage, which is 30%. And I think 30% of 72 million should be around
20 something.
About 22 or thereabout.
Yeah.
21.6. That is the first trench. But we cannot pay 21.6 as a goal. So what it means is that we will now talk to them more. Because by the time you clarify, you know this place is the water level is high. And particularly for the drainage system, it's going to give serious challenges. So it's better we wait for the dry season. And the reason why we wait for the dry season is because of the drainage part of it. There was a time we constructed a drainage at Ojiku to Akimateola. In fact, we were almost paying double. Because by the time you clarify, you want to bring your cement and all that, the water will just start coming up. You have to get the water out, do this, do that. It was giving us extra cost. And I'm also going to inform you that your estate belongs to LTDA or LSDPC. LSDPC frontally has responsibility to you. They should be doing something here. And I appeal that you use your goodwill and contact to coerce them to doing something here. We have been at the neck of the Lagos State Public Works, and they've worked in this estate, not just your place, if you move around the other areas, they've actually worked on those roads, particularly the road that connects Aroso Market. They worked on that road. They did work here before, but I think the pressure here is much. So I think what is needed to be done here is that the road is clarified, and be done properly. We'll forward that to the governor to consider for next year's budget. And we'll see how we will achieve that. And finally, I want to congratulate you that UPDC will be constructing a shopping mall here. Now, I've also been told that you guys are not too happy about that project. But inversely, that project will increase the value of your property here. That is first hand. Second hand, it will enhance security here. It will enhance security here. Thirdly, is that you'll be the first benefactor or beneficiary of that project. And how do I mean? Those who live around ShopRite, when they go to shop, apart from the fact that they get goods at lower price, they also get standard goods, like perishable items. Meat, pepper, and what have you. They are going to have cinemas for your relaxation, and they are going to create jobs. Some of the youths that are living here, we have made sure we spoke to them that for any job that will be created there, our people must be given first consideration. From construction to employment at the final level, including security. As I speak to you, some youths of this local government are already working in Golden Tulip. I saw them. And for those who are very close to me, you will remember, for a long time I was protesting against Golden Tulip. And I refused to attend any of their programs, except state programs, when they come for their retreat. I refuse dealing with Golden Tulip. And I told them, until you start rendering social corporate responsibility, the local government will not deal with you. That I told them. They came severally to beg. I did not yield until their senior management came, and we struck a deal that they will render CSR, they will employ more, and for any project they undertake, people from this local government will be given first consideration. But I further told them they should not compromise their standard. The fact that we want them to employ our people does not mean that we should kill their business. If we don't have people who are competent enough for some certain service, then it is not their fault. But if we have people who are competent and they are given an opportunity to compete, we will monitor the stream, then they consider them. Our own security outfits already are being considered to undertake the security services for that project now and after. They are also looking for manual workers. They have agreed that through the Department of Agric Youth Development, that they will employ some people for unskilled jobs there. For the skilled jobs too, people are also open to approach the Department of Agric. They will look at what they have, including painting, electrical, and what have you. Then they also subcontract this to our people. We were to bring Iron Mike Tyson, Buster Douglas, Bo Crusher Smith, and not Evander Holyfield. There's another last one. Buster Douglas. These are world heavyweight champions. Now, the reason why we are supporting them is, anytime you Google Amuwo-Odofin, the first thing you see is crime. If you don't see Cynthia case, you see armed robbery, you see this, you see that. It's affecting our image negatively. So we now thought it wise that why don't we bring people that can help to affect our image positively? If these people start coming, it shows that there is security in our local government. It also reassures people who might want to invest to come in. And I challenge everybody seated here. So people still say Amuwo-Odofin is not this, is not that. I will not just draw allusion from the CBN governor from their report that stated that Amuwo-Odofin is the fastest local growing economy in Nigeria today. But I went round that if this survey is wrong, or people still feel it is wrong, how come businesses are opening every day, including businesses that we feel that will affect us negatively in terms of security? There are so many social spots opening. Within the last 1 year, if you look along the link road, you will see new businesses. And none of them have invested less than 20 to 30 million naira in their business. None of them have invested less than that. Is it the cost of land, or the cost of generator, or the infrastructure? Including car wash and little small SMEs. But the point is, we must structure them so that they don't, one, abuse the environment and create insecurity. That is why I thank you so much. Because we would have seen mechanics working on your walkway and all of these things, but you prevented it from happening. They've not been able to achieve that, just opposite you there. Reason being that they don't sit down like you do every month to assess and take decision. It is important that we meet. It is your meeting that led to the local government tilting to your side a bit because of the pressure. And I was likening it to a father that has 10 children and he has food for just 3. He look at the children, he thinks they are all okay except one is crying, and he knows that that situation calls for emergency. And that is how we have been appropriating the resources. It's not that we don't want to do all, but we don't have the resources to combat all at the same time. So we now look at need assessment or analysis. Then we quickly go to the very emergent ones. So I thank you so much, and I know you're also paying your rates. I know you are paying your rates. It's very important that we pay our rates. Even the radio and TV license, as small as it is, 500 naira per year. We are doing a review now. Sir?
No like to watch.
No. But it is in the law. I didn't do it. So we're moving on, and we're still appealing because we had a referendum here. You would have had a police station, 70% in completion by now. But the people rejected it.
And very obviously they have to.
They have to. We agree. But now there is high wave of crime to do our bidding. Or we reject it and embrace the hoodlums that are terrorizing us. There is no society that has good policing without the involvement of the people around. The society determines the kind of police you get. I bet you that the police will not work ultra vires at Banana Island if there is a police station there. They will fall in line. Because the people there will make them fall in line. But the police in Ajegule will misbehave. Because the people also will not make them fall in line. So it is about the people. And I know your association will make them fall in line. Apart from the fact that many of you have worked in high-placed areas in this country before, you are still very influential, singularly and collectively. And you have the interest of your community at heart. So it will be difficult for them to misbehave. By the time they see General Toki coming there, hello, good morning. May I know you? Who are you, sir? I'm General Toki by name. They go to the next person. I'm engineer XYZ by name. I'm architect XYZ by name. I'm businessman XYZ by name. And you go together. And they know you are watching them. It will be difficult for them to misbehave. Because they know you can get to a guy at the top. And that is what we are saying. We must get involved in community development. And of course, you also use your influence, because naturally you should pay service charge. You also use your influence to mobilize funds. We know the problem of the police is welfare. And it can happen to any of us here. We're coming now. We saw some people who people call area boy. I'm an area boy of my area because I'm from my area, not an area boy of Swansea. But I told them that the society has created what we saw. You have gone to many climes, and you have seen that in some society they provide shelter for people who are homeless. Some society provide food. Some provide some level of fund for welfare support, but our country does not. Our country also encourage them to do all of these things, and they are not attacking us. And you say they are aliens. They are not. Many of the guys that are working here with us in our environmental task force used to be like them. But we sucked them in, rehabilitated them, and placed them on a wage of 30,000 naira per month. We have about 20 of them. And those areas where they are now, they have become change elements. That is what we are simply doing. So we can change them if the central government appropriate resources the way it should be and divulge power. And we have our community police. And many of them can be brought in, trained, and they protect the area because they know the area better. So I want to stop here, but my visit one is to assure you that all plans have been finished except getting approval from the state. And that we hope to get in the next 2 to 3 weeks from now. And once the approval has been given, we will finalize the bidding process. Plus, minus, we are not using our fund now directly. We have people that want to use their fund. So I have no excuse for you again to say that your road will not be done this year. Before December, God willing, weather being fair, we will complete that road this year. Amen. Weather being fair. No, we have climate change now. Use his profit for the project. So that is the issue. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Government. God bless you. First of all, for visiting us, for listening to our own visit and our text messages, reading it, and for your response towards it. But our members, some of our members would like to ask 1 or 2 questions. One or two of our members would like to ask 1 or 2 questions concerning some of these things you have mentioned. So, please, question time.
First of all, I'd like to appreciate the chairman of the local government. We very much appreciate the gesture that is being accorded us.
Your name, sir?
Architect Obi. Even though we're being accorded this kind gesture of doing our road, which is actually somehow our right, although this is a country where, like you say, the funds are not made available. We're looking at Kaduna Road is a very, very essential road. But I'm just pleading, and I'm not on my knees, but I'm pleading. This particular road is very important to us.
Yes.
And now we're not asking for a resurfacing, neither are we asking for paving stones. But if you look at this road, it's beginning to spoil. If you look around, we're using cement, and you know that cement doesn't work. These are 2 different elements. It will separate with time. And we're asking you to use your position. I'm sure you can find money somewhere, sir. With all due respect. I'm sure. So let it be a preamble or a step to the final frontier. So I will appreciate if you can send your boys to come and help us patch up these holes. It will do us a lot of good. Thank you very much.
We've been on this project for over 2 years, if I'm not wrong. Back and forth, back and forth. You were the one that chose that project. I did not. You said that road is dear to you, that we should make sure we do it. Over 2 years ago, we've been on that thing. So this one resurfacing, at times we see people coming to do work and all. But this one is just recent. But I'm only giving an account of what we have been embarking on in the last 2 years. I will push this one to the public works.
Thank you.
To the public works, and hope that they will quickly come and do it after the rainy season.
Thank you. Thank you.
And there is nothing wrong using cement, sir. Yes, my mind is squeezing her face. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. Now, there's nothing wrong in 2 ways. The civil engineers will know better. We can use cement, appropriate ratio, to stabilize the road until final job is done. You can also use cement to make concrete for the base if you have some certain problems there. And that is what we have been advocating for them to do for Ore, Benin Road. Like what you have coming into Lagos. It's bridged, but you don't quickly see it. So they can have concrete, even in Chicago. The base is concrete. And all that. So you look at the topology of that area, then you prefer solution to it. So there's nothing wrong in using cement if it is used rightly.
Thank you. Thank you.
Concerning, if you have questions concerning the mall that is coming up there.
For the mall, with due respect, sir, I've forgotten the Yoruba adage, if you shave somebody's hair in his absence. So it is good that we call them to listen to your concerns. And I've called the head of UPDC.
It's not mentioned when the chairman was talking.
Thank you, man. Mr. Chairman and Comrade, I'm happy that you people are here now. But as far as I'm concerned, there is one thing I believe. When you commit a crime, pay for the price. Okay, if we did not go over there to battle some of these issues, these people did not recognize us. There is no respect. It's a big slap. We are the next door neighbors. A big project is going on there. Nobody contacted us. Nobody told us anything. They believe we are nothing. They say, okay, if what they did is right, they wouldn't have done it overnight. They would do it daytime. It was done nighttime, as far as we believe. We've had a meeting with them. Before the meeting, we've seen Mr. Frank or whatever. Having a meeting here doesn't solve this issue. We still need to meet. We will allow any members that want to talk to express their anger. There are many things on the table we need to discuss. You've said a lot of things. We agree with what you said, but we also have our own concern. Today is end of the month meeting that we normally host every month. People want to go somewhere. We don't plan all this that we will have a meeting with you, we have a meeting with them. We already appointed some people that will go and discuss this issue with them. We have a spokesman that will, but that doesn't mean that if people want to say one or two things now, they cannot say it. But having this meeting doesn't solve this issue. It is more to this. You talk about the game. We need to visit the place and see what we are talking about. They encroach our land. Yes, because I saw the man, I know what we're talking about. They encroach our land, and that place is a drive-through. There are more things, So I think we should have, they already said we're going to have a meeting on Tuesday, which we already spoke to some of our members and the executive, and we are ready to meet them. So this issue cannot be resolved here. Please, I know what I'm talking about. To avoid a lot of things.
Can I raise fundamental? And what I think the association would have quickly done, write to the authority that owns this estate in the Lagos State corridor there, and inform them that the land has been encroached on. That is one. Because each and every one of us only have right to our perimeter, not even this road. Whatever you do to the drainage of the road is an added service. But the estate belongs to the government of Lagos State. So if there's an encroachment, I would beg that you write to me, because we're going to see it, and I don't even have the map. I will now write to the authorities to come down and ascertain whether it has been encroached on or not. Also, I believe in democracy too much. This is the Congress. Yes, you have formed committee. If I had known before coming here, I would have said, let the committee go and discuss. But as much as I've addressed the body of this organization, that the ESCO is serving. Because even after your meeting as a committee, you are duty bound to report to the General House. Now that the issue has been raised at the General House, it does not stop the General House from listening to it. And the executive can there follow up after the discussion. Because it even shortens your job. Because you are there to get facts, come back to them, and they take decisions. Now that you have the person here and me here, which you don't readily see all the time. That is for me. I believe we can discuss the matter and continue from that discussion. I'm not saying the matter will be totally resolved here, because issue of encroachment have been raised. It is through the master plan that we can verify that. And other issues too have been raised, like the gate and what have you. If need be, if we don't even accommodate what we discuss here, we'll revert back to Ministry of Physical Planning that gave approval to that project to ask, have you given approval to XY gate to be erected there? Because I don't want us to commit the same harakiri that the people in Festac are committing, seeing themselves as a government, and thereby not doing the bidding of law. And that is what has plunged Festac down now. So when we start seeing our roles in society, then society will move forward. So our appeal to you, let us listen. It does not stop, finish everything here. I will still move down to where you have talked about. We take pictures and you will write first. I will take your writing and forward it to the government for more clarity.
And had covered all the bases. But, so I probably just listen while Mr. Akim responds, but I'm particularly interested in the issue about the emissions from generators, and what they really want to do, because that's really going to be where we will be extremely vulnerable to that kind of project. So, Mr. Akim, everyone is waiting for you. So I'll leave the ground for you.
I live directly opposite the place. Now that the construction is taking place, all the snakes from Doba Hotel, they are now on our road. So I don't know. Yes. Even in my own compound now, we have snakes there.
Because the area they bulldoze.
And the noise of those trucks.
And the noise of the trucks.
And their horns.
And the gates. I'm again, they will be doing the supply, because when we went there on Thursday, they said the gate is meant for the supply of goods. Is it in the daytime that they will be doing the supply, or at night? Because if it is at night, definitely it will disturb our sleep.
The trucks coming in.
The trucks coming in, yes.
Okay.
So,
Well, I'm very happy to be here, even though I didn't know this meeting was going to take place. I came to the hotel for a different function yesterday. Incidentally, I ran to the chairman and I mentioned to him that it appears that we're having one or two issues with the residents of Crystal Estate and that we are in the process of trying to resolve the issues. And he told me that incidentally, there's a meeting this morning, and that if I could wait. Ordinarily, I wanted to leave before environmental this morning. So he said if I could wait, he thought it would be beneficial, for me to come to this meeting. So that's why I'm here. So we just had a very, very brief discussion yesterday. So I'm very happy to be here. Incidentally, I used to come to this estate for some regular meetings in those days with Dr. Osai-Mopai. We used to have some meetings in his house in those days. So I'm not worshiping for the first time in this estate. I'm not a stranger to this estate. Now let me try and address the issues. And I do know that the meeting has been fixed for Tuesday with my managers. But the truth of the matter is that I'm the CEO of the company, Frank and Yemi, and I tried to make them come also this morning. But Yemi left the hotel very late yesterday. So he woke up late, and that's why he couldn't make the meeting. Now, I'll just give us a background, of how, because that's very critical, of how we came to where we are today, so that we can understand some of the issues a lot better. But I think that on our part, I think we made a fundamental mistake, which is the fact that we didn't engage with this association after we got our approval to build. I'm sure that if we engaged as we ought to, a lot of these issues will have been clarified, because we are neighbors. We've been joined together by destiny. We are here, we have our investment. You are here, you have your residences, and we ought to live together peaceably. So for that,
we apologize. You know, I can't imagine how that happens. We try to engage everybody. Even I had to go and engage the chairman, you know, and it was not a very, because we had issues also with the local government.
Did you pay for it?
No, I mean, no. In fact, up till a day before the groundbreaking, we were still quarreling. You know, they had issues with us, but we tried to resolve. You know, and that's our approach as UAC. You know, we believe we should engage, resolve issues, and move on. So, for that serious gap in communication, you know, I take responsibility as the CEO of UPDC. You know, and it is not in our character. You know, we build estates all over the country. You know, I'm on 15 sites as I speak to you all over the country. This is not the only mall I'm doing. I'm starting another one in Ilukweju, one in Asaba. You know, we're engaging, you know, but the learnings we take from here, I think for Ilukweju now, I have to go and quickly engage the residents association that are not very far from the site so that we won't run into the same problem. Now, you know that as UAC, we bought Doba Hotel from the federal government. You know, under the privatization, the same time we bought 1,000 above, we bought Doba Hotel. And I want to stress that fact because anywhere we go, because we are real estate people, we add value to real estate. Anywhere we go, you know. And I remember that even though I wasn't in UPDC when we bought the hotel, you know, the truth of the matter is that when we bought and we came to site, what we thought we bought was not what we bought. You know, we had squatters, we had area boys. You know, it took us 2.5 years to be able to evict those who were there. You know, which I think was even a greater risk to this estate than what we have in that estate today. Now, in that property, we have 2 buildings. We have one which we have opened as hotel. We have the other one that we have not even touched at all. You know, which is there of the estate, of our hotel and everything. You know, I hear that we now hear snakes. We now see snakes. But the truth is that if we had left this place as bush, it would have been a more fertile environment for snakes to breed and multiply themselves. You know, so we decided to create a small community. You know, a small community that we believe will complement each other. That was why we decided to construct the shopping mall. Now, in building this shopping mall, you know, and I know that the Tuesday meeting will still address the specifics, you know, but because that's the thing with us as UAC. I will never go to any site unless I have complied with all rules and regulations. And that is why you can never hear that either my site was sealed up for non-compliance or for lack of approval or whatever. No matter how difficult, and I can tell you that getting approval for this mall was very difficult. It took me 18 months to get approval for this mall. You know, but we went through the entire procedure because even when you invite the government in Alausa to come and partake, the first thing they will ask you is that have you comply with all the rules and regulations. I just commissioned an estate in Lekki last week. When we invited Dr. Hamza to come and commission, the first thing he asked was, the Lagos State Building Control Agency, have they given you your certificate for fitness for habitation? That's the way we run our business. You know, but I'm a lawyer myself, and I understand that in all these matters, we can't begin to talk law. You know, when we come to matters like this, we have to build relationships over and above the law. And that is what we want to do as UAC. I'm not going to come to this estate and say, we have complied with the law, it is our land, we are neighbors, you know. We are probably the first in this area, you know, so my learned friend knows that as the first settler in this area, you know, that we are also entitled to some, under the law. You know, I'm not going to come here to start claiming law. I know that we have been joined together by destiny. We have to live together. We have a responsibility to ensure that we create a win-win platform for both of us to have unhindered enjoyment of our properties. We want to take maximum advantage of our investment, but I also know that as residents, you are entitled to peaceable occupation of your properties. And as a company, we will not do anything to detract from that. Now, we're considering so many options in terms of power for this area. We're looking at gas. As a matter of fact, 2 years ago, we are concluded with gas link to bring gas, but our level of usage at that time, will not give us the critical mass that we needed. That was why we shared the idea. But now with the mall coming, with Block B that we're going to renovate, we're going to have 60 offices in Block B. We're going to a whole wing is going to be, because we're trying to create a community hotel, office, residential, and shopping mall. And I can assure you that at the end of the day, what we're going to do will add value. But we add value to this estate. We add value to real estate in this area. But in that process, I can also assure you that we are prepared to work with you to ensure that we coexist peacefully and peaceably. Now, where it becomes necessary, we will insist on our legal, because we are also landlord as you. You are landlord, we are also landlord. But where necessary, we'll insist on our rights. That's the way we run our business as UAC. But as much as possible, we will cooperate with you. I mean, I've sat down with the chairman, and I also know that we also have a responsibility as a company operating in this area to put something back into the community. We're looking at various options. We're also prepared to sit down with your executive, and to also work with you if there are areas that we can collaborate to make lives better for everybody. But at the end of the day, we believe that we are putting significant value on the table for this area. We're bringing a shopping mall, we're bringing world-class brands, and when we open the mall, the access to the mall is not going to be from this side. The current entrance to the hotel, the current two entrances, we're going to widen them and create a much wider entrance, so that people going to the hotel, they go to the right. When they are coming to the mall, they come to the left. That is what we have planned. But we are human beings. We may have omitted one or two things in the course of our planning, in the course of what we are trying to do. We're certainly prepared. But what I like to see, and I'm appealing to the chairman, what I like to see is, I like to say that we come in peace. I also like to see a sense of peace on the other side, because the way the chairman was talking, I was almost running away. I like to, let's try and work with that mutual sense of wanting to work together. Okay, we have made mistakes, we didn't communicate, we apologize for that, but we like to sit down and discuss as partners so that we can both move forward and solve all the issues. Thank you very much. God bless you. Okay, on the issue of the snake, how we all know that snake is very good meat. No, if you have not eaten snake, please try it. If you have not eaten, it's the sweetest meat. Before it becomes, and people assume that when you eat snake, that it will become whole in your stomach. It's not true. What we're going to do is that we're going to refumigate. We used to have a warehouse on that site. Yeah. And we used to have a warehouse where we had our finishing materials, and which we have now relocated to another site in Lagos. And I do know that one of the complaints at that time, the guy who was running the warehouse was always complaining about snake. And I know that when they were clearing the site, they killed 16 snakes. Wow. So you can see that they have been your neighbors. So what we will do, I will ask them to refumigate, and desnake the entire area again, so that we'll see.
They found their ways into the adjoining buildings around. So if you are fumigating your site and you leave those ones, they become terror. So what? So come on.
Okay, when people come to meet with us, I'm sure they will look into
Okay, those details.
The truth of the matter is that we are constructing. We are constructing. The construction is going to take place on our land. As much as possible, we will ensure that there's very minimum disturbance outside of our land. But we are constructing, and this is going to take 18 months. We're planning to open that mall December next year by the grace of God. By October 2014, we'll give beneficial ownership for ShopRite, for them to start their fit out, and they plan to open for sales Christmas 2014 by the grace of God. You know, so we'll try and ensure that construction is concentrated within the site, with minimum nuisance created outside of the site. Thank you very much.
Sorry, so just quickly, because I'm concerned about what you said, I'm very concerned. If you look at the base point of Mile 2 there, just a bit under the bridge, you see some terrible potholes developing. And that's how we have this crazy traffic. In fact, when I'm coming from the island, I don't come through Relay again during the day. I go to Third Mainland. Now, I will appeal to Madam. There is no gain without pain. I will appeal to you, and I think they will work in line with you more, to bring in raw materials. Except you want to run into hazards, you want to run into more cost and what have you, it's better you bring it at night. Even when we're doing roads, our asphalts were brought at night because the traffic will be less and the dangers are reduced. I beg you, I know it will inconvenience you, but you can walk through the association, ESCO, and them to see how, but it will not be forever, just for some little time. Please, it will even cause more traffic. From our road, do this, do that. I know it's painful, but these are the price we pay for development at times. I'm just telling you because I do construction, and I know the time we bring in materials, and that's even the best time. Now we do palliative, palliative now at night. We carry our light, we work at night now to reduce traffic and all that. And I'm even going to take that case to the government of Lagos State now. God forbid, because I think we will need a bridge coming from that by driveway they constructed along Alaba to the express. We need to have a flyover to this place. Because God forbid, because that road is narrow, the drainage is high. God forbid there is a breakdown of a huge vehicle there that will cause hold up. How do we decongest in future? Because I was looking at it. I will advise the government of Lagos State to do a flyover into the first stack area so they can decongest through first gate and avert any mishap in that area.
I must say we are very happy to see the executive chairman in our midst today. For those of us who are almost losing hope in the system, please, there is hope. And I'm going to appeal to the chairman that this kind of visit should be something that will keep recurring, because your coming here today has really given a lot of us here hope, and your coming is also being complimented by the CEO of UPDC, who has also addressed us and also doused our fears as far as the ongoing project of the shopping mall. I just want to ask the CEO of UPDC a question. I want to know if there is any concession going to be given that will be given to your neighbors here, I mean members of this estate, in terms of, first of all, let me ask you, is the allocation of the spaces? I'm actually talking as a businessman now. The shopping mall, I want to know if it has started and if there is any consideration that will be given to people like your neighbor here.
In terms of space?
In terms of space, acquisition of space there. And in terms of
certain percentage
cost. And also the people that you want, you can connect us to meet.
As we say, is smaller than the palms. The palms is 17,000 GLA, you know, so the mall is 25,000, so our own is 12,000, you know, slightly below 12,000. So we can only accommodate one anchor tenant. You know, that anchor tenant that we have signed is ShopRite. We have a sub-anchor, Silverboard Cinemas. We have a cinema, a 4-screen cinema. Those are the 2 tenants that we have signed. But beyond that, the whole space is open for grabs, you know, but what we are trying to do also is to ensure that we have a tenant mix that meets basic requirements of a standard mall. You know, so you will see all the usual Mr. Price, Pep, Woolworths, or trying to bring Fortini. You know, I know that people here will not want to buy Mr. Price. We have to bring Fortini. You know, Fortini is a more upscale brand and things like that. Then we have pharmacy. You know, in fact, yesterday we had planned to have one pharmacy, but yesterday I have some people in the hotel now from Pharmacy Council. They took me on. Yesterday that we should have at least 2 pharmacies in the place. So we'll think about it. But as of today, we've signed ShopRite, we've signed Silver Bus Cinema, and we've signed the pharmacist. All of that spaces are still up for grab. Thank you.
And the rain is not too.
Sorry, I have a question for you.
Yeah. We'll discuss it on Tuesday. We'll discuss it on Executive Chairman, Amuwo-Odofin Local Government, for responding to his visit. Also, Mr. Akim, for the visit that he also responded to when the Executive Chairman told him to come here. But as part of our discussion, we said we're going to meet on Tuesday. We hope Mr. Akim, the CEO of UPDC, in fact, we want Mr. Akim, the CEO of UPDC, to be at the meeting. We also implore the presence of the Executive Chairman also to also be there because so like we said, we have delegates that will be meeting with these people on Tuesday from Crystal Estate, and at the end of our meeting we hope to reach a compromise, and God will be with all of us. Amen. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, once again. We appreciate you.